And once again, we are back with ESQ-Astro Sauce. I am the host, ESQ-Astro, and we do a collective daily spread here with the Egyptian Tarot. We do a classic Egyptian Tarot spread, which is a pyramid buildup, and then we'll classify and clarify the reading with the gods of Egypt. All right, so we do all shuffles live on camera, no card trickery or clickbait titles or nothing like that going on here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Leave me some feedback if you do resonate with the reading. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. We are looking to build that subscribership up. And yeah, hopefully the reading resonates with you. If it doesn't, I just ask that you share the video with others. It may resonate with them. It is a collective read, so take what you need. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. All right. So one last cut. I do call in my ancestors, the Most High, and my spirit guides to guide the reading. You call in whoever you need to see what you need to see in the cards. Again, I'll do the overview with the short that you guys can check out in my community section. So, with mind, body, and soul, the first card coming out is the Lovers in reverse. Okay. So maybe a reversal of a choice, maybe something with your relationship. Next card, the Emperor, upright. Okay. So next card, Justice, upright. Next card, the Hangman, upright. Strength in reverse. The Hierophant. Judgment. Okay, so we got Judgment and Justice coming out in the reading so far. Dominant, upright. Next card coming out, the World. So the second day in a row, the World is coming out. That changes here. Next card is the Fool in reverse. So 2 days in a row, Fool coming out in reverse, which is pretty interesting. I think almost in the same position, if I'm not mistaken, from yesterday's reading. It came right out in that same position. Top card is the Devil. Okay, yeah. So let's see. Bottom of the deck, what we can't see coming, the Magician in reverse. All right. Yeah, so this is a very interesting spread, starting off here and ending up here, and then this is what you can't see coming. Okay, so pretty deep. I would definitely say there's a choice in the balance, or maybe some type of miscommunication. We are in Mercury retrograde, so we can expect that. Um, Again, the Emperor is upright, sitting on his throne. Justice is right behind him, looking the same way, as the Hangman is there as well. So again, this is somebody that's poised and um, I would say in position to strike. There just may be either some type of power or strength that they've had to relinquish or not able to execute because they don't have that strength of power. But again, a higher source or a higher counsel may need to be sought so that we make the correct judgments to make the correct changes. Because again, Hierophant, Judgment, World. That's an elevated choice for a change to come in, especially with the Fool coming out in reverse in the same position it did yesterday. I mean, that's pretty much saying, you know, you know what the wise choice is. Will the toxicity or will the uh, addiction or the uh, illusion continue to be fed in that particular way, as far as what you're giving your energy to. Again, this could have something to do with a court situation. I even see work still here, with certain things, but definitely uh, some type of relationship where somebody has some type of power over you, uh, or you don't have the power or the strength to really um, affect the situation that you need to, which is again why you may need to seek higher counsel to make proper judgment on what change needs to come in. And with the Fool in reverse, again, that could be, you making a choice to, go in a different direction. The Fool upright always talks about stepping in a new direction, but again, with kind of a clear path without knowing. This is almost like you're wise, and again, you have to do the right thing that changes uh, this stronghold that this devil has over you. Okay. The magician in reverse coming out to clarify or to let you know what you can't see coming. This turnaround may put you right in alignment with being able to reserve your magic, um, or again, put it in a place to where you're using it, but again, you may be learning new things. Okay. Um, Almost see there's an elevation through the emperor to the hierophant to the fool, to where you may be taking a new spiritual path or being called to something that you can't resist or you can't deny it. It's going to come for you in a particular way, um, and you'll have what you need for it to happen when it's time for it to happen. So again, we are in initiation season, being in the summer season. This is considered the new year in the old world. So uh, the summer solstice is what marks that point, and we are just a couple weeks into that now. So it's definitely um, a build up, and believe me, the energy is going to get real strong when we get into Leo season. So just be prepared for the middle of the month to heighten up and get hotter, as things have already been hot, you know, um, kind of worldwide with things going on. So definitely a pretty much clear reading to me. I mean, we do have a dominant upright reading. You know, I do like where the position of the reversals are. The lovers being clarified by the strength in reverse. Again, this is a situation where you may feel powerless, or you may need to step into your power and realize that you are the hierophant and make a better judgment to make some type of change that again is based upon wisdom, and again may include you going in a different or a new direction that again is somewhere you haven't been. That's what I've been seeing through the last maybe week and a half is talking about somebody being elevated to somewhere they haven't been. So uh, but again, it's about standing your ground, being a solid businessman or businesswoman and making decisions. And again, it looks like the decisions you're making are bringing in justice. So um, justice and judgment coming out in the upright, and then judgment clarifying partially the justice card and the hangman. So it's definitely let me know that this is coming kind of full circle for uh, this person to be in a place of again not total or complete happiness or bliss, but content and stable enough to uh, plot, plan, strategize. And again, that may be where maybe where the opposite of that lacks in the strength department. You know what I mean? Or you can plot, plan, strategize, but when you don't have, let's say, the money to activate it, it definitely makes a difference in the type of strength or power that you can exercise based upon that. And again, I think the hierophant is just saying remain in your higher self and keep doing the things that you're doing, because ultimately the judgment is going to free you and make the changes that the judgment that comes in from you staying in that energy. Because the main thing is um, if you do get that strength turned around, that could turn around other things too. And again, that's the second reversal in the reading. Only four reversals, with the bottom of the deck coming out reversal, three cards in the pyramid. So you just have to be very, I would say, aware of some of the choices that may appear, uh, and how you handle them. We are a Mercury retrograde, so we can tend to be a little extra talkative sometimes, especially with it being in Cancer. We can speak from our emotions, and I think that what this situation is saying is be more logical than emotional when it comes to these choices. I don't, the moon didn't come out, but certain things in reverse are showing me that. So, and again, we don't want to always say what we're thinking, not to the degree of, again, being abrasive or just too judgmental or, um, you know, just hard on the way we're speaking to people. And again, we can practice this by checking the way that we speak to ourselves. And when we start to speak to ourselves better, then we'll start to speak to others better. And a lot of the times where I find flaw in people's communication is people don't speak to themselves, or the speech that they do have with themselves is so subconscious that they're not consciously speaking to themselves. uh, in an attempt to even reason through a problem or a situation, or get more in tune with their psyche and train of thought when it comes to where are my thoughts leading me to, why do I think about these things, and again, what are you focused on as far as what are you letting dominate your thoughts? And like I say, a lot of people just don't think in those particular natures. But again, if you're never guided to use your mind, then somebody else will use it for you. And that's pretty much what's going on in today's society. That's why 90% of the people you see in public are looking down at their phones. Nobody's looking up at the sky anymore. It's just weird. But all right, so do this one last cut and we'll get into see what the gods have to say. Right. And they are saying today, hope in the upright. Okay. And that is a Anuket. Okay. And Anuket is hope in the upright. Again, we have to remain hopeful. I often have that interview with Dick Gregory in mind where he was like, "Fuck hope," but at certain points in the road, hope is what's going to bridge that gap that may keep you from jumping off the bridge. And that's how I look at it. I try to be more action oriented than just hopeful. Excuse me, because I know sometimes the action is really what's going to make it happen. Hope is only as good as the actions that go behind it. That's what I would say. So yeah, hope is good, but we don't want to hope without trying to do something to make it happen. And with this reading, I would just say, it's saying keep the hope alive. Just to quote the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. Rest in peace. He just passed recently, but keep hope alive. Things may not look like that change is coming, but again, what you can't see is that magic being reversed. And if you feel like you're being debilitated right now, or you don't have access to your magic, or you can't fully operate in your strength because you don't have it, or you are trapped in a particular position, just know that that's definitely turning around. And again, we got to keep hope alive because again, there's some type of illusion, delusion, addiction, uh, false attraction, uh, some type of hierarchy or something that's over the reading. But again, hope is where we're going to keep, you know, keep our boots moving forward, no matter how many steps, we feel we're not taking, because sometimes it's inch by inch, it's not foot by foot, sometimes it's inch by inch. And so this is just saying keep hope alive, I would say. Bottom of the deck is the stability and equilibrium card in reverse. Okay. So I would say this is definitely probably speaking to somebody that's been in the opposite, you know, um, and is probably still in that position. But again, what you can't see coming is that's going to reverse. That's going to change. You're going to have stability. You're going to have equilibrium. You're going to have a whole new level of life that you haven't experienced before. And that's what's, I think, the illusion that you may be holding on to that may be blocking that in a way. Okay. But again, you can only get what you work for. And again, a lot of these things that we work for, again, start in the spirit. So we, have to do certain things in spirit to manifest these things. And one of those things is cleansing ourselves of doubt. Okay. When you start doubting that you can do something that you want to do, you pretty much already defeated yourself. You know what I mean? So the main thing is doubt can't be a leader. In a particular order of you getting to what you need or what you want. You know, and again, to me, it can't creep in at all if you have, again, clear vision of what you're doing and again, good intentions behind the works and actions that are going into play. Okay. The main thing is just always be mindful and open to higher counsel. You know, to me, that's what that Hierophant is saying. That sometimes we do, have to rely on our higher counsel. But again, we do have to rely on others in situations where we may be foolish or unsure and need to, again, get that voice of reason from outside of us so that we actually can make a better choice from within. Okay. So I think the reading's pretty clear, for both bottom of the decks, what you can't see coming being reversals. I would definitely say this probably, a reading for somebody again that's been, heavily dealing with an illusion or something that's just not not right or just is not feeding your strength or your power. And there's going to be some type of breakthrough that comes with your magic reversing, from you keeping the hope alive, and then your stability and equilibrium is going to be returned. It's in the reverse here, but I think again that you're currently in this situation, and what you can't see is that's going to turn around. That's going to flip. And so just keep hope alive. I mean, that's the main thing I'm seeing here. And again, be very delicate with your choices and your words when dealing with others, as well as yourself. Again, if you haven't been practicing self talks, having a self talk on particular things maybe that you may think about. Me particularly, I shape and form these things based upon just ancient law, based upon how I try to keep my life in a particular four cornered method. Some would say it's a box, but again, good things come in boxes as well. But again, four corners are the basis of the spiritual system I deal with. And when you understand four corners and why number four is the first complete number, then you'll actually see how structure in the right format really serves. And again, what's right for some may not be right for others. So we all have to figure that out for ourselves in this life. I would definitely say this is kind of what this reading is saying as well. But it's definitely saying, stay the course. Don't let what you can't do stop you from doing what you can do. And I think that's an important message even for myself right now. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the reading there. I think it's pretty plain and simple. Hopefully y'all getting what I'm getting. I'll do the overview and y'all can check it out. Again, comment on the video if you resonate with what I'm saying. If you don't, then I ask that you just share the video. Maybe somebody else does. Maybe you resonate with some of it. Maybe some of it doesn't resonate. But again, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. It's a collective read, not a one-to-one read. So it's always going to be different when I'm reading somebody's personal energy as opposed to the collective, where again my energy is in there as well because I'm the one willing and dealing here. Okay. So, like, share, subscribe. Tell your people about ESQ-Astro, because when you want the truth, where do you go? ESQ-Astro. I thank y'all for tuning in. Catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.